Welcome to Caching Waves. This is an Elliott Wave update for ICP. In a moment, I'm going to get into the micro counts, but just wanted to show you on the 4 hour my primary count. And that is since our significant low at 282.5, we had a 5-wave move to the upside up to around $20. Now, if you're new to Elliott Wave, it's basically tracking the market, that the market trends in 5 waves, corrects in 3. And does that on multiple time frames. For example, this is our 5-wave move since the low. Looking for a 1-2. Extensions for your 3rd wave to help you target it is you take the extension of wave 1 off of wave 2. Look for the 1.618 extension for your 3rd wave. Second target is the 2.618 extension. Now within this 3rd wave, you also want 5-wave move, which is right here. You want the most volume and peak RSI. As you can see, all were completely accurate. After that, you look for a sideways move for a wave 4 when you get a sharp correction in wave 2, which got extended out in time, as you can see. And then for your 5th wave target, you take the length of wave 1, extend it off this wave 4, and look for the 1-to-1 extension for your 5th wave to finish right here, which was at 1874 in this example. Now, other ways to help you define where the 4th is likely to come is take the beginning of wave 1 off of wave 2 in green circled, extend that off the top of wave 1, and you expect the 4th to find support at the top end of that channel. So you can see everything reacted as expected for that impulse, and after the fact, looking for another smaller version of this. So these entire 5 waves make a larger 1-2 as such. And now we're looking for a wave 2 to complete and our 3rd to extend to the upside. Again, taking the extension of this entire wave 1, extending it off of wave 2, looking for the 1.618, which is the eventual target if our wave 2 holds of $149. Okay, so our wave 2 is a 3-wave move. This scenario ended up making a WXY, ABC for our W wave, triangle for our X wave, ABC for our Y wave. Important to note, we look for the 1-to-1 extension of W off of X for our target for our Y wave, which is right there at 641.9. We also look between the 382 and the 618 retracement of the entire 5-wave move. The 618 was at 607.9. So you can see we had dual targets, the 1-to-1 and the 618. Now after that, we're looking for a pivot in a 5-wave move. So another micro 1-2. We repeat the entire process, looking for a 3rd wave. We get 5 waves up for our wave 1. Extend the length of wave 1 off of wave 2. Look for that 1.618 for our 3rd wave, which we got right here. End up getting a WXY flat for our 4th wave. We had a sharp correction on wave 2, flat correction on wave 4, and we ended up getting our 5th wave. Important to note, we did not hit the 1-to-1 extension for wave 1 off of wave 4, but the requirement is just the 5 waves there, which we did get. After that, we're looking for a 3-wave move between the 382 and the 786 of the entire 5-wave impulse to the upside. This is our zone we are looking for a pivot to continue in a larger 3rd wave. Okay, this has been one heck of a correction. This is from 10 days ago, just to show you. We had a completed 5-wave move and an A wave potentially down. And ever since this, I have been calling for $8 ICP. This was when we topped at 11. So we've been expecting this move ever since that wave 5 high. Now back to the correction, it's become a little more complex. I'm not 100% on the correction being complete yet. I will show you what I do have mapped out. But until I get a completed pattern, I'm not concrete on a primary. First of all, I had a 5-wave move down for our A wave, our B wave, and looking for 5 waves here for a C. The best way to count this is a wave 1, 2 with a flat, 3, triangle for wave 4, 5, wave 1, 2, 5 waves in our third, 3, 4. This is a little sketch, but if you go down to the micro, there is 5 there. So that makes an ABC. I'm leaning into this just because we came very close to the 1-to-1 extension, just shy of it, as you can see right here. So have this as a W wave, as a 3-wave pattern. This is the area where it gets difficult, but I'm just relying on fibs right now. And that is the X wave. Remember, in a WXY, we're looking for 2 3-wave patterns back to back. Is the X wave over here, in which case we're potentially complete as a 5-wave, or sorry, as a 5-3-5, but it's very ugly. Or is the X wave over here? Because as you can see, as a WXY, we came right into our B and X zone. So this can be a flat in itself. So I'm not quite sure. If I measure it this way, as labeled as the WXY, taken from the beginning of our W wave off of the X, that's the targets right here, which seem to be the best case right now. We just came through the 1-to-1 at 736.4. So the question is, are we complete? I don't have an answer for you on that, but there is a way to get probabilities on your side. This is the best pitchfork I've found from this pivot off of the A wave, off of the X. That's the best pitchfork I've found. It's respecting right now. But I wouldn't get too excited yet. First, I want to see the 618 broken of this Y labeled as such. I'll put that in yellow. So if these pivots hold, I would like to see us get through $8.35.7. Let's see if we're further away on linear. And 842.8. I would go with that. The further of the two, I'd go with linear on this one. So I'd wait for a break of this level. I want to see if it's a 5-wave move, because if it's a 5-wave move, a correction cannot be 5 waves. So it's either an A wave within a larger correction and we come back, or it's a wave 1, right? Wave 1 and 2, and our bottom's in. So important to break this level first, and I want to be able to count the waves before I take an entry. And if I do see those 5 waves, I'd wait for the retracement of this wave here, look to buy at between the 382 and the 786, stop at the Y wave low. So that's the best way to get the most position size on the trade. Now, you can see how ugly this is. It's very difficult count. I mean, we are at the 1-to-1 on log. I suppose you could count this as an A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're not invalidating any rules. Wave 4 doesn't overlap with wave 1. Looking at the extensions, we are at the 1-to-1. If you were to label this as an A, B, C, it does work, and it does line up well with this as a WXY complete near the 1-to-1. So you can see that makes the most logical sense currently. But I'm not going to get into this until I see these 5 waves and a pullback. Personally, I just want to let this finish up a little more, because there's many ways to count this. If I put the X wave back here, it completely changes the count, right? And it's just as logical as over here. I'm just using this because of the fibs it lines up with currently. Now, if you're just trading this on for a swing trade, larger term, I mean, you're right in the area you want to be. I'm talking down at the 15-minute trying to catch the best possible trade, right? Remember, we have 5 waves up, and we're looking for our buy zone between originally the 382 and the 786. Well, we're right between the 618 and the 786. So you're pretty much in the ideal area. Not financial advice. This is just my point of view of the market. You make your own decisions. But nothing wrong, in my opinion, if somebody wanted to buy in these areas, stop at this low at, what is the low there? Get this off there. At 581.6. Right in that zone. Remember, we're targeting 149 basically. So what if we were, where's our profit level? 149, we'll say, on the longer term. We're talking about an 80-to-1 risk reward right now on that trade setup if it works out. I'm not saying that's going to happen. Obviously, there's a lot of tracking along the way, but if this is a 1 and 2, that is our standard guidelines for a third wave target on the larger time frames. That's all that I'm saying. I'm not saying it has to happen. It will happen. That's all I'm saying. So I'm going to be watching this very closely, see how this actually finishes up. But as of right now, technically labeled this way, this is an ABC complete. But again, I'm waiting for the break of this pitchfork and the 618, which is at 842.8. And I want to see a nice 5-wave move and a pullback. All right, guys, that's it for ICP. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.